Now, with the ban on religious gatherings extended to the end of May, the Eidul-Fitr celebrations, which commemorate the end of the month of Ramadan, would not be observed for the first time in the life of many Muslims across Ghana. What does this mean to the Muslim community? And how are they reacting to this ban, which is set to affect their Eid celebrations? Anasabit has been engaging some Muslims in Techimine and filed the following reports.
In my address to workers and the nation on May Day, I announced the extension of the closure of our borders for one more month as the means to continue halting the importation of the virus into our country. Tonight, I've come into your homes to announce that the ban on public gatherings, as set out in Executive Instrument number 64, has been extended also to the end of the month, i.e. 31st May.
This announcement by the President of the Republic of Ghana, His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, in his last address to the nation means that the Eid-ul-Fitr, a celebration which marks the end of the month of Ramadan, cannot be observed in a congregational manner by Muslims across the country. Now, in the first place, what is Eid-ul-Fitr? And what is the stance of this celebration to the Muslim Ummah? Sheikh Mansour Anas is an Islamic cleric.
Before the immigration of the Prophet ﷺ from Mecca to Medina, the people of Medina used to celebrate in their own way before the arrival of the Prophet ﷺ. When the Prophet ﷺ reached Medina, he said, Allah has replaced the two Eids that they used to celebrate with two which are better than what they used to do, the Eid al-Fitr and the Eid al-Adha. So it is very important in Islam for us to have these 2 days in a year to celebrate our religion and then meet our friends, family, and then enjoy the moments when it's really that time.
Sheikh Mansour tells me that though the celebration of the Eid is important to the Muslim world, its ban in a congregational manner does not affect the month-long fast being observed by Muslims.
Eid-al-Fitr usually occur or happen on the first day of the month of Shawwal, which is the 10th month on the Islamic calendar. And the fasting has to do with the month of Ramadan, which is 29 or 30 days. When the month comes to an end, the fasting has ended. So the Eid is different, but it usually comes immediately after the end of the Ramadan, but it has nothing to do with the fasting.
But under what instance does Islam permit Muslims to stay away from religious congregations?
When there is some outbreak of a pandemic in any area, any part of the world, the Prophet ﷺ advised the Ummah, if you are not at that area, don't go there. And those within that affected area shouldn't go out, just to experience this quarantine method to limit the infection and then the spread of the infection. And even some instances when there is some extreme cold weather, after the azan, they used to see وَمَنْ شَاءَ قَعَدَ, who wishes to just stay at his home and then pray. So if something like this happens, we have to know that Islam is a religion that comes to protect mankind. And there is nothing in the religion or in Islam which will impose us to do something. If that thing will cause harm to our health or to our life, the religion allows us to do that.
To the Muslim populace, what does this ban mean to them? And are they worried that they are not observing this particular religious celebration after this Ramadan? We are really worried, but we have no choice but to accept it in good faith.
Even though we are worried, but we don't have anything to do. It's God's making, and then we have to observe it as such.
They, however, called on colleague Muslims to desist from holding events capable of defying the directives being laid out by authorities.
This is not a punishment from any other person, because it's God's making, and then we have to obey whatever God has given to you. You will take it. So I urge my colleague Muslims to obey not to disobey.
I call on colleague Muslims to adhere to the President's directives. That will be very helpful to all of us. Reporting for Joy News, Anas Sabit, Tichiman.